Hello and welcome back to this very exciting pop therapy edition of the Curious Life podcast. Kat, thank you so much for joining me.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Do you know, I think it was like this time last week that we met, in fact.
I know, it really was. Yeah, Saturday
Oh,
evening, very close to almost
yep.
a
Yep.
full week of knowing each other.
That's right. I know, but so much has happened since then. And so I am on the other side of the world now, yearning to be back.
Happy Sunday, right?
Yeah, it is. It's Sunday for me. It's nearly 10 a.m. on Sunday. I would way prefer to be at the creator event that we were at together, adjacent to BravoCon, which is where we met, and reliving all of the glory that was BravoCon.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
was
No,
so much fun.
we were talking about this like right before, but it was both of our first times there, and I loved it. I loved every second about it. I had a blast, but like it's exhausting.
Yeah.
It's a marathon. So like I feel
Yeah.
like that's not really expressed a lot when I hear people talk about it, but like and especially for people, if anyone out there, if you're an introvert or an extroverted introvert, be prepared for your social battery to be at negative 475 when you get on the plane to go home
Yeah.
after BravoCon.
100%.
I was
100%.
exhausted and I only went
Yeah.
2 days and you went the third day. I can't
Yeah.
even imagine. And that was something that Cat of the past, when I booked BravoCon, I was like, I'm only going to go 2 days. I think 3 days will be way too much. I didn't get a 3-day pass or anything. So I only bought the single day tickets. And I'm so happy that I did because I think if I had to go back Sunday, I would have been like a shell of a person. I literally would
Yeah.
have been Damien from Mean Girls with a hood over my head. Like, no, I'm not. I'm just going
Yes.
to sit in these panels and listen and not talk to
Totally. Totally. I'm exactly the same as you. So I call myself an outgoing introvert. So I can like turn it on and I can be in the room and be, up, but it's
anyone.
like completely draining me. And I think that first day, it's a huge mix of adrenaline, excitement, overwhelm, and it's like a smorgasbord of so many things to do, so many places to be at once. There are Bravo Labs everywhere, there are crowds everywhere, and things are on at the same time. So there'll be panels on at the same time. Then I discovered the bazaar where all of the Bravo Labs were just cruising around. And I felt like on the first day, there was way more access to them than on the second day. The second day, it was like 10,000 more people
Yeah.
arrived. I don't know what happened, but it was even more insane. Maybe
Mhm.
also because it was raining, so everyone was inside more. But
Yeah.
the first day I felt that pressure of like where to go and what to do and like anxiety of like running between things.
I didn't even know like where to go. Like I feel like I
Yeah.
actually didn't watch enough panels because I was so overwhelmed. And I think so no, Friday morning. So I went and roomed with Ashley from the Bravo Mom, and
Mhm.
we went to the creator event at Clorox with in Dry Bar where Dorinda was DJing, and I wasn't invited, but somehow like she magically got me a spot there, which made
Amazing.
thing and like forever thankful for her to be able to do that. But yeah, that was a super fun event. But I think it was like 7:30 a.m. You're getting mimosa first thing, you're already drinking so early on, and it's just
Yeah.
like, and then Dorinda's there DJing, and it's just music and everything's going, and I feel like that probably drained me more than I thought I had, and I had
Mm.
general admission the first day and VIP the second day. So general admission, that line to get in the convention also is absolutely insane. I think it took us like 30 to 45 minutes to get like
Mm.
through the line and actually in the convention.
Yeah.
So we probably didn't get there until like maybe 10 a.m., 10:15. So we missed we missed Meredith's DJing, which I like really wanted.
Okay.
So I felt like I was already kind of like behind and like stressed,
Yes.
like didn't really know like where to go once I got in. So
Yeah. Yeah. And no matter how much you prepared, like I really thought I was prepared. I had printed out and color coded all because in Australia, international people did not have access to the app the BravoCon
Oh,
app. So
interesting.
I went online and I printed everything out, like all the different stages were color coded and I knew where everything was. But then getting there, like, was a completely different thing. So I met these gorgeous American girls who were also just fans like me. I had just walked past them in Starbucks or outside Starbucks and just
Yeah.
for some reason was just drawn to them. And I was like, I saw their wristbands. I'm like, you going to BravoCon? And we just started chatting and hit it off beautifully. So shout out to Erica and Lindsay. You guys were amazing. And we then had this little, click to start off with. So I had someone to go figure out how to get to the venue and then stand in that ridiculous 40-minute line with.
Yep.
But we were there in time for Meredith Marks. And that
Oh,
for
yeah.
me kicked things off like it was a big wow. Like we got really close in. I got some great footage and pictures of Meredith and Seth and the kids,
Oh,
and Andy came out. And that was just like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I did
holy crap, I have arrived at BravoCon. This is real.
that close to Andy Cohen, like how
Oh, seriously, I had one more encounter with Andy where he was walking through the crowd and I had no shame at that point and I was like running up next to him and trying to like get selfies of myself next to him because I
uh-huh.
think initially when I was meeting these people, I didn't know what to do. Like I'm trying to talk to them like a normal person, like, hey Meredith, hey, I'm Yana from Australia, and then their minders are moving them on so quickly. And the clever people were just running up and just taking selfies straight away. But
Uh-huh.
I found that, and we're jumping all over the place, but I found that part of it super overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I felt this was way more intense on the second day, where
Mhm.
the crowds of people were so insane. Every time a Bravo Lab would come out and be walking through the bazaar, people were
Mhm.
screaming and swamping, like absolutely,
Yeah.
like just storming them, and it was so crazy, and it meant
Mhm.
that they moved them on much more quickly. So on the
Mhm.
first day there were many more opportunities to stop and chat and actually have interactions, and the second day I think the crowd made it so crazy that it took
Start getting
away from people.
through and yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So overwhelm aside, have
Yeah.
you got like what are some of your biggest highs from BravoCon?
So I mean, I truly think CreatorCon that we went to on Saturday night where we met, that's
Yeah.
probably one of my highlights
Yeah.
from BravoCon. It was so nice to be like just in that like atmosphere with other kind of people that just enjoy creating content and doing kind of what we do. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's still very much so just a hobby. It's not like a career. Like, I haven't monetized my platform in, that large of a sense yet. So it's still very
Yeah.
much a hobby and like a passion
Yeah.
project, I guess. And I love that there were just so many other people and like so many people to look up to that have made full blown careers out of this. And like,
Yeah.
it was amazing, and it was an amazing event with the karaoke. The girls that hosted it, the Bravo Docket girls, they are so nice and so kind and were just so welcoming, and just like being able to like fill out that form and like even having them ask like, oh, do you want to be featured as a creator? Like I still feel
Yeah.
like I'm fairly small compared to the big guns
Mm.
that are out there with hundreds of thousand plus followers. So like
Yeah.
just even the opportunity to like be featured kind of in that event was really exciting and amazing. So that was probably one of my like tops.
Mm.
And then I was really excited that I went to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills panel, which I think was on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And that I couldn't believe how much of the first episode that we saw. I don't know if you were
Yeah. I was
there.
there. Yeah.
I think it was at least a half hour, maybe like
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it looks really good. Like I'm
Yeah.
very, very excited for that season. And I feel like for me, just Bravo in general, Housewives has been really difficult to like keep my attention. Like I'm fully invested in things like Summer House or Southern Charm or like, kind of the like other non-Housewives franchise shows have been able to just keep my attention more than Real Housewives recently. Like feel
Yeah.
like Real Housewives of Orange County was such a slog. Obviously, Salt Lake is like
Mm.
top tier, like out of
Totally.
this world home run season. So like that's
Yeah.
keeping my attention, but like it made me very excited to be excited about a Housewives franchise again.
Yes, I
So,
could not agree with you more. I think I would be surprised if anyone found Orange County enjoyable at all this season. And last season, I feel like the last couple of seasons. So last season was interesting because we had the Alexis Bellino and Shannon Beador stuff. I feel like
mhm.
that was the first time I've been interested in OC for a few years, and then this year it was right back down in the
Mhm.
dumps again. And I just, yeah, watching it was like a chore.
Like, I feel like it's very much so in like this like kind of up and down with Orange County. Like we went like I would say peak Orange County, and I don't know what season numbers these were, but like peak Orange County for me was like Vicky, Kelly, Heather, Megan King Edmonds, like that whole group
Yeah.
where we had these kind of like one-offs that would like show up for one season and leave, but like that core group
Yes.
was so good. And I hate Kelly Dodd now. I think she's a horrible person. I would never
Yes.
want her back on my TV because she said such atrocious things about Heather's kids. Like I would
Hmm.
never want to see her back on
Yeah.
Orange County. But like we got Heather Dubrow saying, this is low based bullshit. Like that
Yes.
best season of Orange County ever. And I feel like after that, it really started to like go downhill once like
Yeah.
Heather left again, and like other like that entire group just kind of started to like, they fired a lot of that group and then tried
Hmm.
to like bring new people on. And I would say that Emily and Gina have been really great additions. Like I feel like they started out kind of slow where we were like, are they going to be, maybe a onesie twosie seasons, but now they've like really come into their own as this like really cute kind of best friend duo. Um, but I mean, I'm curious to see where it goes with Vicky being back, what the full cast looks like with her back. And
Yeah.
obviously, with like how my account is, I'm very liberal, and obviously Vicky is not. So like,
Hmm.
and obviously we don't align there at all, but I think she's a very great reality TV presence. And I think
Yeah.
she's been wanting to come back for a really long time. I'm curious to see how that plays out with how long she's wanted to be back. And if she comes in trying to like how Tamara came in, like a bat out of hell, just trying to like reassert her dominance as, one of the OGs for the most part of the OC. I'm curious to kind of see how Vicky navigates this, which I feel like
Yeah.
Vicky has changed a lot since the last time that she's been on TV. And like when
Mm.
she has kind of popped in and out of OC, I've liked how she's been like portrayed and how she's portrayed herself on TV. So I
Yeah.
am excited to see what that full cast looks like when she's back for season 20, which I mean,
Yeah.
amazing. They've been holding out, I'm sure, being like, oh, Vicky's coming back for 20 years of Orange County. That's probably why they
Yeah.
haven't brought her back for 18, 19, like a big milestone, which I don't know why I didn't think that they were holding out to do that.
Yeah, I didn't even know if they were holding out. It felt like they were sort of holding it against her, because I think the rumors were that she was saying, I will only come back in, full housewife capacity, and they kept putting her on as a friend of. Um, but I think the cast definitely needs a shake-up
Mhm.
still. Like, I think absolutely bring back Vicky, but like who else? I mean, okay, I've got an opposing opinion to you in terms of Emily and Gina.
Okay.
I just feel like they're still, to me, they still feel like they've only been there for 1 year and they're still the one hit wonder. And
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't feel like they bring enough. I don't like what Emily's doing in terms of sharing all the details of her son's
Mm-hmm.
endless, issues and diagnoses and all of that. I don't think that's fair
Yeah.
for him. I think she's
You
still
don't
on
need
this
to
journey
keep
of
your
discovery.
like stuff kind of private until you really figure
Yeah,
out what's going on.
exactly.
You can really be an advocate for whatever
Totally.
that diagnosis.
Exactly.
No, I
Yeah.
totally agree with you on that for sure.
Yeah. So I feel like, with Brittany from the Valley, there's an autism diagnosis. They know what's going on. They talked about some delays and things like that generally before. But, what I do in my other life is I'm a therapist and I work a lot with kids in the schools. And so I was kind of like putting the pieces together a bit. But once they had the diagnosis, I think fantastic. Now they can be, and I think Brittany, for all that Brittany is, I think
Mhm.
she is a really good spokesperson, and she's talking about her journey
No
with
one
Cruz
loves
really
her
well.
more than she does. You can tell
Yeah.
how fiercely she loves Cruz, and she is his biggest advocate, which I
Yeah.
think children with autism need a mom that is going
Yeah.
to advocate for them and fight for them and get them all of the like tools that they need to be
Yeah.
successful. So, like hats off to her. I think she's doing
Totally.
amazing. And
Totally.
like
Yeah.
I have a friend who has a son with autism, and was going through kind of like a difficult time with him where, like, she's like, I'm doing everything right and we're just not making the progress. And it's like, but you are doing everything
Yeah.
possible to fight for your child, and you're doing amazing. Like, you are literally doing amazing.
Yeah.
And my other friend and I were like, we can't even imagine like having to be
Yeah.
that advocate on top of, working full time and doing and
Yeah.
being a mom. And she has, another kid. So it's like,
Yeah.
like, so yeah.
Yep. And they say having one neurodivergent child is the same as having four
Mhm.
kids. So, she's really dealing with five kids at
Yeah.
home. And I
Yeah.
think, it is such an enormous job. And, I think the more that someone like Brittany is talking about it and sharing the struggles and showing, the pathways that she's taking with things, the better for all the other parents out there who are going through the same thing. Whereas Emily is like, I'm trialing this controversial brain therapy with my child that doesn't actually have a proper diagnosis of anything yet, and like revealing all of his eating stuff, and like
Mhm.
go on the journey privately,
Mhm.
and then when there's something to really say.
Going through a difficult time. Is it Luke? I think it's Luke, right?
Luke, yeah.
Like, we're going through a very difficult time right now. We're seeing some specialists, and then leave it at that. Like,
Yeah.
and then once we have, healthcare providers that have
Yeah.
provided a solid diagnosis, we have a treatment plan in place,
Yeah.
then, yeah, like exactly what you're saying,
Yeah.
then you can come out like how Brittany is, and,
Yeah.
do the articles, talk about like
Yeah.
what it is that you've done to, help your child, and then you can really help bring other
Yeah.
people along with it. But yeah,
Yeah.
kind of going through the exploratory stuff is
Yeah.
maybe a little premature. I
Yeah.
absolutely agree with you.
Yeah. And I think it's not fair to him. None of these kids, even Cruz, none of the kids can consent to
Mm-mm.
being on social media, to being on TV, to having their medical and personal information shared. And I think a lot of the people on these shows have a lot more thinking and personal learning to do around what is okay and what is not.
Yeah.
Like look at Laurie Peterson, her son Josh, she was a OG OC, and he spiraled into drug use and he was in jail, unfortunately passed away. And you want to give your kids the best possible chance. Like you and
Mm-hmm.
I don't share our children on
Mm-hmm.
social media, and I think we should all be kind of taking that. I would be very happy not to see any young children on any of these shows.
I don't
You
need
can,
that. What I want to see is
yeah,
women yelling at each other about stupid bullshit. Like, I don't really
yes,
know what's going on in a kid's life until they're, of middle school,
yeah,
high school age, and they can truly be like, yes, this is something that I
yeah,
will gladly share with the world on
yeah,
TV. Or even like, look at Mary Cosby on Salt Lake City. Like,
yes,
her son is an adult, he's struggling with addiction, he's consenting to this being on TV, which, going off on parents that are doing well, I think Mary is doing an exceptional job, like
yeah,
advocating for her son and talking about addiction.
yeah,
And I have like addiction in my family, and I've had like, my brother has struggled with it for probably most of my young adult life, and still now. And it's such a terrible disease, and I think
mm,
there's a lot of people in the world that have, some
yeah,
connection or tie to addiction. So I
absolutely,
think that's an amazing thing for her to
yeah,
share with her son, who's a consenting adult, for sure.
yes. I think that's a perfect example. And, you know, he, I think she's handling it with such grace.
Mhm.
I had so many different thoughts about Mary until this last, was it last season or this? No, it was last season that it all kind of came
Back,
up
right?
with Robert Jr. Yeah. And I thought, wow, this is a mum who's dealing with things in such a thoughtful and considered way. And she's someone who, is quite an oddball and doesn't seem to be like really rooted in reality very often. She's
Right,
like
yeah.
off with the fairies, but we see her with her son,
Mhm.
and it is so moving, and it is so like the way that she's using language with him. She's not judging him. She's not demanding. You know, a lot of parents will get desperate and be like, we have to change this. We've got to, you know, or whatever it is. And she is
Not
just,
judgmental. She
yeah,
was like, he was, I think, sitting there in his bedroom high, and she wasn't
yeah,
freak out. That's another mom that you can just tell just fiercely loves her child
yeah,
and want, and I mean, I know all moms like fiercely love their kids and want what's best for them, but it's like obviously like a parent's approach can definitely be different, but she literally
yeah,
just was like approached him with nothing but love and
yeah,
understanding and compassion. And like I feel like, you know, with Mary being like a pastor, you always kind of, you know, the way she reacts in situations, you're like, this isn't really representative of what you
yeah,
think a Christian would do. But like
yeah,
in the moment, I feel like she was very accepting and
yeah,
reacted in a way that people would typically think, you know, someone that's a pastor or a Christian or, you know,
yeah,
follows the teachings of Jesus would act towards
yeah,
someone. There's something like that in that moment.
yeah,
So I felt like,
yeah,
yeah.
totally. And I think as a parent myself, like patience is something I'm still absolutely working on. And, you know, I think this is a lifelong journey.
Yeah.
But I find myself like if there's something that is creating fear in me
Mm-hmm.
around something my child is doing, like if they're doing something dangerous, you know, I can't just be calm about it and be like, you know, honey, we're just going to really carefully get down. I'll be like, hey, what are you doing? Get down. You know, like my
Yeah.
reaction is immediately sort of panicked.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that really resonated for me. If
Mm-hmm.
I came into the room and my child was in the bed with his wife and they
Mm-hmm.
were high and I've got cameras, so I'm really conscious that the world could potentially see this. I don't know how I would have reacted. I don't know if I could have been
Not
cool and
that.
calm and, you know, I would have been like, what are you doing? Get up out of these beds. Like, you know, panicked. And so
Like,
that,
out, you are
yeah,
to treatment, like,
yeah,
you know, it's just fear
totally.
and just like
Yeah,
overwhelmed with emotions where and
yeah,
I feel like Mary does get overwhelmed by emotion typically when she's around that group of women, but when she's in like
yeah,
safe space in her home with her, you know, family around her, like she's very like calm and level headed. And I feel like we're seeing that more in the group of women too, like where I feel like she was so new into like reality TV and that world and that group of women when we first met her in like the
yeah,
first, like, what was it, 2 to 3 seasons, I think was when she was on. And then she took a
yeah,
little bit of a break and then came back. Like, I feel like she's now like approaching the group of women with kind of like the same grace as like she was kind of approaching Robert Jr., where like, you know, Lisa and Angie are fighting at each other. And then she's like asking Heather, she's like, oh, what did she say? Oh, she said, you do French fries, I do franchise. Oh, that was good. Like, you know, like she
yes,
like calls
yes,
her and like that's where like her like kind of goofy, witty quirkiness is like really
yeah,
now because she's just like so much more like I guess kind of like come into her own as a
yeah.
housewife, which I really enjoy
Yeah.
about her.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. I think it'll be really interesting to see what happens to her after this documentary comes out,
No, I
you
know.
know, and
That's something that's been at the back of my mind as I've started to like, you know, I always kind of liked Mary because I thought she was kind of like funny and quirky, but like you have this issue with like her church and like
yeah.
potentially harming others, which is like, you know, it kind of goes into like the Jen Shaw of it all. Like
Yeah.
everyone's like, is Jen going to come back? It's like, no, I don't want her to come back because she defrauded the elderly. Like,
Yes.
I know she's great TV and I know it'll be interesting. And I know we're going to want to hear what she talked about with Elizabeth Holmes and Ghislaine Maxwell in prison.
Yeah.
Like, I know we're going to want to hear all of that. Like, I
Yeah.
want to hear all that. Maybe like Andy does a sit down interview, but she should not be getting a formal paycheck from Bravo after
No.
she was arrested from defrauding thousands of elderly people. Like,
Yeah.
that's not okay. So it's like if
Yeah.
Mary's doing the same thing in that regard to her church parishioners, like that's going to really affect how I view her and if I want to continue to see her, even if she is funny on the show. Like
Yes.
in today's society, and I know like our moral compass is completely fucked up now. Like at
Yeah.
this point, like am I allowed to curse on here?
Absolutely. Yeah.
um like we have to have some standards here, like Bravo, Alex, Andy, like we gotta have some sort of moral compass that we're following, and we
Mm.
can't have convicted felons on as a cast member. I'm sorry. I know I have a convicted felon as my president right now, but like we keep it out of reality TV.
Well, yeah, if that's the line,
Yeah.
what hope do we have? But,
Right.
I was at the Bravos on Friday night.
I really want to go to that. I
Okay.
didn't really know about that as like an option or an add-on
Oh,
and I really like Ashley and I were talking about that and we like saw all the pictures and then we are like, okay,
yeah,
yeah, we're gonna make sure we get tickets to
yeah.
that.
That was honestly
2027.
incredible. So for anyone
Because
listening, it
Vicky
was
got her
basically,
one, right?
yeah, Vicky got her orange back, and it was like an awards night for, a fun, silly awards night for like funniest, fight, or like, shadiest person, that sort of thing. So super fun. However, Karen Huger came on stage to present an award and got a standing ovation from the crowd. Literally everybody. And I was sitting in like a VIP section.
Mhm.
All the big time creators were all there in front of me. Everyone
Standing.
was up on their feet, clapping and cheering and wooing. And I'm like, am I going crazy? Like, she has just come out of prison for her fourth DUI. Like,
Mhm.
this is not just like, oh my God, poor Karen. She was in jail and it was a miscarriage of justice and this is terrible. And thank God she's back. The grand dame is back. Like, I'm
No,
like, are we
we
okay?
makes me think that we absolutely will see Jen Shaw back on our TVs. Like
Yeah.
there's no like there's no bottom. Like, we
No.
have no and like it's our society. We live in this capitalistic society where money rules. And yes,
Yeah.
she'll bring ratings, she'll bring money, she'll bring, it's like
Yeah.
so it makes me think that like we'll absolutely see her back. It would be really hard for me and I love Salt Lake right now. It would be really
Yeah.
hard for me to continue to watch if we're
Yeah.
having convicted felons rejoin the cast, getting a
Yeah.
consistent income to then possibly rebuild another company where
Totally.
are we going to do something illegal again,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
like that's not and I like totally believe in like prison reform and that people can change and like
Yeah.
people can rehabilitate and be stand up members of society and I think we need to do a better job of doing that like in
Yeah.
general but
Yeah.
like maybe not like also she would got convicted a 6.5 year conviction what she was there less than 3 years
I
like
know.
she didn't get
Yeah.
first of all, her sentence wasn't long enough to begin with. She should have been
Mm.
put away for like 10 to 15 years, which I think is what Elizabeth Holmes had. I think that's
Mhm.
what her sentence is
Yeah.
somewhere in that length or whatever. And yes, like, and I would say their crimes are probably very equal in terms of what
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Holmes was defrauding cancer patients. Jen Shaw was defrauding the elderly,
Yeah.
which
Both
are
vulnerable groups. Yeah.
both two vulnerable groups in populations are
Yeah.
sick people and elderly people, which all
Yeah.
often overlaps too. So like
Totally.
I I just
Yeah.
it just would be really hard for me to like continue to watch something like
Yeah.
that. But then also it's like Karen's already back and like Karen literally could have killed someone. She
4
literally
times
four
that we
times.
know of. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like and yeah, those are the 4 times she got caught. So like
Yes.
she's been driving under the influence for years.
Yeah.
She just got lucky, and whoever was in her path also got
Yeah.
lucky too.
Totally.
And in this day and age, too, where an Uber is a button away, we
Yeah.
have you're on TV
Yeah.
and you have drivers driving you to places
Yes.
all the
I know.
time.
What on
You
earth?
describe your
Honestly.
husband as the Black Bill Gates. You're telling me he can't buy
Yeah.
you a driver?
Yeah.
Like,
Seriously.
what's fun?
It is wild. It is wild. The
And
only
it's
thing,
different 15 years ago where cars weren't at the literal tips
yeah.
of the fingers. Like, I'm more understanding to like that where you can't call a cab in the
Yeah.
middle of Potomac, Maryland in the suburbs. Like,
Yeah.
and anyone can get an Uber. Anyone can get
100%.
an Uber Black. Like,
100%. Yeah.
yeah.
It makes zero sense. Zero sense.
I don't know how there's anyone still drunk driving. Sorry, I keep cutting
I
you
know.
off. I know.
No, you're right. You're right. Nobody should be. And, I would understand. I don't agree, but I would understand if she was a tiny bit over and she got pulled over because, she's had 2 glasses of wine and she thought she was okay and she's not drunk, but
Yeah.
she's a tiny bit over. And we could say, you know what? Bad judgment call, not cool. You should have got an Uber, but it's not so bad. She was
Right.
so blind drunk, like
Mhm.
absolutely saying the most insane things, did
No,
not know
you
where
should
she
not
was.
near a car.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
shame on anyone that was with her that night that also let her leave too.
Yes.
I feel like that's another thing too that we also don't talk about enough. And it's like, yes, she's an adult, she can make her own decisions, but like I feel like people that let you leave their
Mhm.
property in that capacity should also have some sort of liability in that.
Yes.
Like, I'm sorry,
Absolutely.
you can tell a grown woman, no, sit your ass down, we're calling Ray,
Yeah.
and he'll come get you. Or
Yeah.
he'll send someone to come get you
Yeah.
if he can't drive.
Or I'm ordering you an Uber and you're not leaving. Here it is. Get in. It's taking you home and I'll
Drive your
bring your
car
car
back to
tomorrow.
me.
Yeah.
Literally, leave your keys. I'll bring your car tomorrow,
Yeah.
and I'll Uber my ass back home. I don't
Yeah.
care, but you're not driving right
Yeah.
now.
But we
Yeah.
saw Britney do this in LA a couple of weeks ago. There's video of her, Britney Spears,
Mhm.
drunk in a venue and getting into the car, and you see the valet or people working there sort of trying to stop her, and then
Mhm.
away she goes, and seemingly no repercussions for anybody. Drunk driving all over the road like
That's crazy.
crazy.
I know.
But the only hope I have is that, I don't know if you saw, Andy said something at I think it was at a Watch What Happens live taping. So at the end of a
Mhm.
Watch What Happens live taping, he was sort of talking to the audience, and somebody asked him about Jen Shah, and he said, "I never want to see her ever again."
He said that. And
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, but I don't know what kind of, you know, if the producers of Salt Lake have the
Mhm. Of
power
course.
to
Yeah.
make the casting
He's not a
calls.
producer on that show, is he?
I don't know. I don't know.
I know if he's for sure a producer on OC and Beverly Hills, right? I think he's kind
Okay.
of more on the California franchise.
Yeah. Okay.
And I know the like spin-offs, like I know he's not a producer on like Vanderpump Rules and
Yeah.
other spin-off shows, but I
Yeah.
just don't know if he's a producer on Salt Lake or not. But then
Yeah.
also I think I saw something where maybe it was like was Alex Baskin there answering questions?
I think he was. Yeah. Yeah.
I think like I saw the responses where there was like something about Jen, and then like I think 2 or 3 other controversial housewives or Bravo celebrities, and I can't remember who they were. And Alex basically gave very non-politician answers where he kind of gave like a bit of a word salad, didn't say no, didn't say yes in regards
Mm,
to Jen Shaw, which makes me think
right.
Dora is very much, and that was kind of like what like the threads or the retweets or whatever were saying, like this seems very much so like a door that's open, you know.
Right.
So I don't know. I just
Wow.
it would not.
Yeah.
It would be. I know I sound like a broken record, but it would be just
No,
be hard
but
to
we've
like.
had convicted felons come back on the show. Teresa and Joe Judice came back on
Yeah,
the show. However, they were like defrauding the government or
yeah,
the IRS. It's not the
yeah.
same as having vulnerable
Vulnerable population.
victims. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
I
think they have to
kind of
really
truly
think about it.
believe to my core that, and maybe this makes me sound like very ignorant, and but like I really kind of think Teresa was just like, "Oh yeah, Joe, let me sign this paper."
Yeah.
Like I don't think she's smart enough to really know what was going on to
No,
defraud the government. I really
probably
don't.
not. Yeah.
I think Joe was like, "Hey Trey, sign this paper," and she did, and she did, and then you
Yeah.
know that's how she was
Yeah.
implicated. You know,
Yeah.
people
I
are
could
like,
see that.
"Where's White? How could you not know what was going on?" You think the girl that's paying with hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash for furniture has any idea the
Yeah.
optics of anything? Like,
Yeah.
no.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. But
So
then,
that's different. I agree
yeah,
with you.
no, you're right. You're right. It is different. So, yeah, I can't see how there would be any fan who would think it was a good thing to be
Well,
rewarding Jen.
I'm in Bravo chats where like someone today was like, I want her back on my TV. I don't care.
No
And I'm like,
way.
but why?
Yeah.
But this person also votes the exact opposite of me. So I mean, I guess that
Right.
kind of makes
Yeah.
sense.
I guess there's a lid for every pot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do think it's interesting, it'd be interesting to talk to the Bravo Docket girls about her sentence. I think if anyone wants a good rundown about what's happened with Jen's
I should
sentence,
listen to their podcast because I would imagine their
yeah,
podcast this week will talk about Jen.
yeah, yeah, because I think, it's interesting to me, and obviously not knowing anything really about the American justice system, but how somebody can have so much time knocked off for good, pardon?
I said, or the lack thereof,
Or
the
the
lack of,
lack thereof. Yeah, I'm aware of the lack of. Yeah,
yeah.
that's very much come across my table. But why are people able to get so much time off for good behavior in such a short period of time? Surely you should be in there for a few years. Anyone can be on their best behavior in the first year. Like, let's see, once you've really started to do some time for the crime, let's see how good you're behaving in 3 years out of your 6 year sentence, not in the first 6 to 8 months. Like,
I think the US is just very much so like a pay to play. And it's also just like, we're a very like hierarchical society, I think. Like
mm,
if you're wealthy or affluent or, like you have a good lawyer, you have someone that's like advocating on your behalf, like you're with the parole board and all of that stuff. Like if you have the money to pay the legal fees to have your attorney continue to fight and fight and fight, like
mm,
I think, and again, I'm not a lawyer. I have no kind of criminal justice background or knowledge. This is just more so my own kind of like perception of our
yeah,
society. And like, I mean, I think our prison systems are so overrun too. We have so many people imprisoned in the
yeah,
United States too. So it's like it's probably also like a room, like a
yeah,
capacity thing.
yeah,
Like they're like, what, we're gonna have this Bravo celebrity to continue to take up space when there's someone that
yeah,
actually needs. But I mean, she's in like the Ritz of prisons too.
yeah.
She's like where Martha Stewart went, probably like,
Oh
or
my
one
God.
of
Yeah,
those kind of prisons, and
yeah,
that's where
yeah.
Ghislaine Maxwell is, and apparently she has a service puppy in there.
What?
Hmm.
Ghislaine
Allegedly.
Maxwell has a service puppy?
Yep. And she's a
Oh,
convicted felon of child sex trafficking.
wow.
There's
Wow.
literally just no. That's why it's like the lack of justice system.
Yeah,
Why do convicted pedophiles have puppies in prison?
totally. Why are we making their time better? Oh my
Yeah, no,
gosh.
I don't even have a service dog. Where's my service
No,
dog that I can take on?
exactly.
I'm not in prison. I'm an upstanding member of society, and I don't have a service
Yes,
dog given to me.
exactly. Send the puppies.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, I was going to ask you just on that track because I've been a kind of fan is the wrong word, but I've
Mhm.
been like an advocate for the Menendez brothers.
Oh yeah.
And
Mhm.
like, I feel like they have done their time
Oh
well
for
and
sure.
truly and cannot understand, because you were saying before about people with money and, power seem to be able to maneuver themselves out more quickly. But these guys are stuck there, for another year at least, and
Mhm.
they probably have the money but it's all a political move. Like
I think it just totally depends on the area, probably the DA, the district attorney. Like, are they? Oh gosh, sorry, my Apple
oh.
Watch just started talking to me. Um, yeah, I think it totally depends on like like which county court you're in, who's the DA, like do they have anything held against you? I mean, I think it's all like politics and how you're able,
Mm.
you know, does that attorney have a good relationship with that judge or that parole board
Yeah.
or whatever? And again, not a lawyer. I'm probably just literally talking out of my ass and I have no idea what I'm talking
Well, it
about. And I bet
sounds good.
the Bravo Docket girls will probably be listening to me and being like, "She has no idea what she's talking about." So this is all just you feel free to fact check me, but
I love it. It sounds very convincing to me.
yeah, but no, I mean, did you watch the Monsters
I
show?
did. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it sounds like those boys went through it, and like
Yeah.
I mean, they were minors, right? When they committed, or one of them
Yes.
was minor when they,
Yes. Eric was 18, I think. 17,
yeah,
18. Yeah.
yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like, what are they? They're like in their late 40s
I
now.
think 50s now. They've been there
Yeah.
for more than 30 years.
Like at that point, like if we're talking about who can prove good behavior, like,
Yes.
and we were just talking about being able to like rehabilitate in society, like
Mm-hmm.
it's not like they went on a murder spree of, you know, random serial killer
Yeah.
rape of, you know, like they had a type or whatever. These were their
Yeah.
parents and abusers that
Yes.
they felt unsafe around. Like I, to
Yes.
me, that's different than
Completely. How are they a risk to
probably would have
society?
done the same thing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't, like I mean I mean I'm lucky enough to have never experienced anything like that really in my
Yeah.
home. So I just
Yeah.
truly can't even imagine what
No.
mental toll that takes on a child. I mean, I can
Exactly.
even begin to fathom what that's like. So it's
No.
like, yeah, I feel like they've definitely served their time.
Yeah. And in Australia, people get sentenced, men kill their girlfriend or their wife, and they might get like 5 to 10 years. You know,
Mhm.
the there's no like life sentences for people anymore. Why are these guys serving
Yeah,
more than 30 years? I mean, I guarantee you, if we were to have a look, and again, probably for the Bravo docket, but if we
yeah.
were to have a look at a list of, current sentences for people that have murdered other people, I
Mhm.
guarantee you there would be people that are out within, 7 to 10 years on a legal technicality. Like, it's
Yeah.
insane.
No, that's crazy to me. I
Yeah.
mean, and then you have like people in Texas who like force their women or their girlfriends to like have an abortion or kill their girlfriends because they don't want to have a baby, and they don't even go to like jail,
Yeah.
like, or, you know, it's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah. It
yeah.
makes no sense. No
Mhm.
sense. We could go crazy trying to
Solve.
rationalize and solve all of these things because they're unsolvable in the current situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so back to BravoCon. I agree. I feel like the creator event was a total highlight. And the other highlight for me was the Bravos. That was so where I was sitting, I could actually watch all of the Bravo labs just sitting
Oh.
and mingling and chatting. And, it was just like
And
so
did it
surreal.
like friendships just seem like so genuine, and like, you know, they're like
Yeah.
just normal people
Yeah.
going about their lives?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until Saturday when they were walking through the crowds and thousands of people were swarming them. Did
Yeah.
you have any encounters with any Bravo labs that stood out for you?
So Dorinda, she was DJing at that event that I went to on Friday morning, and
Amazing.
she's amazing. She's so nice. Like Ashley and I walked up to her and she's like, "Oh my gosh, who are these beauties?" Like so
Oh,
kind, so nice. We saw her
wow.
again and took a picture with her like after we had gotten our hair done, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you girls are so chic." But
Oh,
she was amazing. Like she truly was so nice. I'm trying to think who else. I feel like I really didn't like meet that many people because I was just kind of like so overwhelmed, and like
yeah.
I did have VIP on Saturday, so I was in the VIP lounge, and uh I got a picture with Joe Bradley, who I'd actually met before because I
Oh,
actually went to
amazing.
Republic once,
Oh,
and
nice.
like had a table at a bachelorette party that I was on, and it was like such a fun experience. They were actually filming while we were there,
Wow.
and we got on the show.
Oh my God.
Little like we're like barely there. Like there's just like kind
Okay.
of little snippets where you can kind of like see us. So we don't have any like speaking parts or whatever,
Yeah.
but like there's like the like where I first saw myself, it's like me kind of talking to Joe about like the pricing of the table, and you see me outside like kind
Oh
of
my
talking.
God. I'm going to have to go back and have a look. Is it season 1 or 2?
It's season 2.
Okay.
And I think it's around Memorial Day weekend. So like it's like I
Okay.
think like a few episodes in. So like if you're around like
Okay.
that time, because I think they talk about like Memorial Day like in one of the
Okay.
episodes. So it's that one, and I think it's like a Thursday night at
Okay.
Republic. So it was like the first night that we were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's amazing. He's really nice. and I've DM'd with him with a little bit because obviously when I was on the show, I took a picture of myself and I was like, oh, there I am, like Worm at Republic Train
Nice.
or whatever. And he like commented on the post and he was like, oh my gosh, I remember you. And yeah,
Oh,
he was
so
really,
nice.
and I don't watch Married to Medicine, but I did get a picture with Quad from Married to Medicine, and
Yeah.
she's so sweet, such like a girl's girl, and like just was like
Oh,
randomly doing like poses with me or whatever
cute.
picture. So I was like, okay, well now I'm gonna watch Married to Medicine. And I've heard amazing things, but it's just like really hard for me to keep up with every
Yeah.
single show that there
Oh,
is. But I really
totally.
want to kind of like watch it from the beginning because I've heard amazing things.
Yeah.
And I got to get a picture with Rachel Zoe. She's just so fabulous and stunning
Wow.
person. And I was like, I mean, I feel like I made it because like that's like literally one of
Totally.
the OG like
Yeah.
Bravo ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, who did you meet, or who did you like, or not?
Well, so my lovely friend Ryan Bailey, friend of the pod, he got me on the Sunday to do a live segment on Peacock with Craig Conover, which was amazing. And, you know, I love Southern Charm. And I know there's like Team Craig, Team Paige stuff
Team
going
Paige, because
on.
I'm a giggler, so it's just like, you know, but
Well,
whatever.
can you talk to Paige and tell her to unblock me? I don't know why I'm blocked, but I've been blocked for a long time.
Oh my gosh, I wonder why. Okay,
I
so who are you
know.
by as Bravo celebrities? I was just at a Friendsgiving last night, and people are like, "Have any Bravo celebrities blocked you?" And I was like, "Yeah, they have actually." And I was like going through the list that I've been blocked by.
I mean, is Jax one of them? Because he seems the most trigger happy.
Oh, I'm actually not blocked by Jax.
Amazing.
Yeah. But I'm blocked by Sutton. And I
Oh,
don't really know why. And I didn't think I'd like said anything like bad about her, but I'm blocked by
okay.
Sutton. I'm blocked by Lisa Rinna, and I don't really know why either. But my theory is, and I'll have to send you this when we get off the pod. I had remixed a reel of this like drag queen that was dancing on a bar that had like a little like short pixie cut and was like dancing around and then slips off the bar and falls, and it literally looks exactly like Lisa Rinna. So I like remixed it, and I was like, I will never not see Lisa Rinna when I watch this video. And I was like, Rinna seems like she would like think that's funny.
Yes.
She blocked me because of it. And I'm like, and I'm not blocked by her on TikTok, so I've like made a TikTok about like how I was blocked, and like, and I was like, Lisa, please unblock me on Instagram. I actually really like you, and I want to like
so
your dancing videos and stuff. And I'm still and then I'm also blocked by Lil from Summer House, Carl's like very
really.
yes, because okay, so one of my friends who's like a super internet sleuth, like when no one could really find Lil on Instagram, but she's like, I found her. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to shoot her like a follow or whatever. And I forgot that I had made like a meme about how annoying her and Carl were. And it was close to the top of my Instagram. And I was like, and then someone had sent me like something from her again. I was like, oh yeah, she definitely blocked me.
Oh no. Too sensitive. Too sensitive.
Guys, it's not that serious. Just relax.
I mean, if you're on one of the shows, you have to expect somebody's going to like make a meme, say something.
I had like a Reddit thread made about me on like the Bravo blogger snark Reddit thread.
Really?
Yeah, and someone was like talking about how I didn't take a long enough like break from Instagram because I said I was going to take a break from Instagram, and then I was like, okay, so we're judging how long I determine my mental health break is.
Got my God, that is ridiculous. Yeah. Ridiculous.
Like,
oh my
and then,
God.
Like, it got like no engagement. It got like 2 or 3 upvotes, and like one comment was like, who is this? And I was like, yeah, yeah, I'm really that big.
That's so funny. Well, but you've made it. When you're on a Reddit thread, you've made it. So even if it's only got 2 votes, I love it.
I screenshot it and I was like, Mama, I made it.
Yes, totally. Yeah, well, I don't know why I'm blocked by Paige, but Craig was an absolute delight, I have to say. So I
Okay.
did this segment
Yeah.
with Ryan. He brought me on as like the super fan, and I had to like
Oh,
answer some questions, and then gave Craig a bit of shit, and it was fun. Like
yeah.
Ryan was like, "Do you have any other questions for him?" And I was like, "Well, you know what, Craig, you actually said that you know, are looking forward to us seeing you dating for the first time." And I was like, "But you were single on season 1 and we saw you dating." And he said, "Oh yeah, so and so, you know, we went on a date and she's a good friend." I was like, "No, I'm talking about Catherine."
Oh.
And so then, you know, he was like, "Oh my God, don't go there." But then
Mhm.
later he said to me, "I'm actually really glad you brought her up because I feel like, you know, I need to do more and step up more to
Mhm.
help her like get in a better place."
Yeah.
And you know, it was quite good. But he was really delightful. And I know it'll never happen, but he was like, "You know, you spoke so well." And I was like, "Well, actually, I'm a podcaster from Australia." And he's like, "Oh my God, we should do a podcast. I haven't done one in a year. Like, DM me." But it'll
I mean,
never happen. You know, you got to jump through so
I
many
really
hoops.
have always liked Craig as like a character on the show. Like even
Yeah.
prior to like him and Paige dating, like
Yeah.
I really did always like enjoy him, and I was always kind of team Craig in terms of I mean, he was the best one out of all of those guys. Like all of those guys
Yeah.
are like slimy and like kind
Yeah.
of not great. So I always thought he was kind of like the better person of the group. And I will say, speaking of Catherine, I will say that something I will, and I'm Team Page, but like something I will give Craig a lot of credit for is how he's always advocated for that girl.
Yes.
And like, I will die on the hill. And I know a lot, I've said this before, and I know a lot of people probably disagree with me because Catherine was an adult when she met Thomas, but she was a child. She was
Yeah.
21 years old.
Yeah.
That disgusting old man groomed her. And people are like, oh, you can't groom an adult. Yes, you can,
Of
because it's
course you
about a
can.
power dynamic. And
Yeah.
he is a wealthy, established man in that community, which is an old boys club. And she
Mm-hmm.
didn't stand a fighting chance. And she has had lots of hardships in her life where her grandmother died. I think her mom and dad have both passed away now.
Mm,
She clearly struggles with like drugs and alcohol and substance abuse issues.
yeah.
And then she has this horrible man that's holding her children's custody over her head.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think that when all of the girls on that cast turned against her, when they should have been standing by her side as girls and not siding with Thomas Ravenel and
Yeah.
he, who has had his own issues, and I think he's had his own legal issues with like being kind of like predatory and weird, and
Mm-hmm.
or like either sexual abuse or something. And this may be all alleged, and I'm
Yeah.
definitely, feel free to fact check me on that, but I think he's had his own kind of legal issues. But like those girls should have stood by their friend's side and seen that she needed help and like
Yeah.
she true friendship. And Craig always did. He really
Yeah.
always did, and always fought for her and advocated for her and was a true friend to her, and was a friend to her when she had no one. So I will
Yeah.
give credit where credit is due. And Craig
Yeah.
was always a really good friend to
Yeah.
Catherine.
Yep. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Completely agree. I felt like in his early seasons, he was so annoying and like he was clearly lying about everything and all of those
Mhm.
things. But I completely agree with the way that he was supportive of Catherine, like no matter what. And he stood up to those other guys and he always looked after her. And
Yeah, I mean, he
so,
had his own issue with her where he kind of slut shamed her at that dinner, but like from that, where they moved on and we got into like
yeah.
later seasons, and like I will say, like he was the only person on that cast that ever stood up for her, and she
Yeah.
needed someone willing to stand up for her and fight for her because she really didn't have anyone there
Yeah.
to help her. And
Yeah.
yeah, but
Totally.
I'd love to see if he can like, reach out and like be a friend to her. Maybe I don't want to see it on my
Yeah.
team, but like in the
No.
background to like, you know, if you'd ever do a podcast and you get with him and get an update, like I would love to hear if, he
Yeah.
can pull her out of the slump that she's in. Cause I do think she
Yeah.
needs like a friend and advocate to do that for her right now.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I know. It would be really nice to see that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, I was really excited about seeing those Southern Charm
Hmm.
people. You know,
Hmm.
Madison, I had a couple of really nice interactions. And Vanita, I did a Bravo Palooza with,
Oh, yeah.
and Vanita and Madison were there, and also Camille Grammer. Gina Kirschenheider, Shamia Morton, Sheree Whitfield. I had such
God.
a good time with
Would you
Sheree. We've
recommend doing a Bravo Palooza, buying one of those? Because I know that's like an add-on.
It is an add-on, and I just thought, look, I'm going all the way from the other side of the world. I'm just going to do as much as I can and
Yeah.
just like get it all in.
Mhm.
Look, I don't know if it's it. Look, you go into a room, there's a bar, you get a free drink,
Mhm.
there's some food going around, but like little burgers and stuff, and like you're about to meet all these people as if you want to be like stuffing your face.
Right.
Had not eaten the whole day. There was like a serious food shortage going on,
Right.
but had my drink, and they basically station all the stars around the room, and
Mhm.
you get an opportunity. You still have to line up. Everything's a line up at
Yeah.
BravoCon. It's a bloody endless line constantly to do anything at BravoCon.
Mhm.
Maybe
Except
not
for
VIP.
I found the panels, like you could just walk kind of in and out of those. Like
Yeah.
that was really nice. I thought that I
Yeah.
would be like, fighting for my life to get into panels too,
Yeah.
which that was a nice surprise when I was like, oh,
That
I can
was
just walk in
good.
and out of
Yeah.
a ballroom or whatever.
Yeah, I did love that actually, the in and out. But yeah,
Mhm.
forever these snaking queues of everything else. So they had them all lined up, and you did have enough time to actually get in, have a photo op, and chat with all of them. So that was quite good. But Vanita, I'm not such a fan of on the show. I have found her really boring in the past, like literally just scenes of her and her dog. And then it was the scenes, the constant JT obsession that was very strange last season, and
Mhm.
this season I'm finding her having a war with Craig about
Mhm.
someone that I don't think she is even friends with at all. I don't think Paige has ever mentioned Vanita. Not that I would know because I'm blocked, but
Mhm.
it seems like a weird thing.
Mhm.
Anyway, she was absolutely the life of the party, and we had so much
Oh,
fun. We took some amazing photos together. We were laughing, and it was just a total blast with those two girls.
stunning. I feel like she's gorgeous.
Stunning.
Like
So
whenever
gorgeous.
the episode this last week, I was like, "Oh, you are
She
beautiful." Like
is. She
she's like
is.
her skin is just like
Yeah.
perfect and flawless,
Yeah.
and yeah, no,
Yeah.
she's stunning.
Gorgeous. And I will say she's like pencil thin in real
Yeah,
life, like an absolute pencil, but just like effervescent, like completely different to
no,
how we see
just
her
kind of
on the show.
her edit isn't great. Like maybe it's
Yeah,
the
it could be.
like I mean I don't know. Like she could just
Yeah.
get bad edits if that's how she is in person. Like I mean I feel
Yeah.
like that's more of an indicator of how she truly is. If you said she's
Yeah.
lovely in person, like she
Yeah.
like you might just get villain edits or like just
Maybe.
edits, you know?
Yeah. It
Mhm.
totally could be the case.
Which sometimes I
Um,
don't really like believe in that whole like bad edit thing because I'm like,
mm,
how like really can someone get a bad edit? You know, like it's like
yeah.
you still like we're like I'm thinking back to like Summer House and I'm a giggler, but like I couldn't stand Hannah on Summer House.
Oh,
She
neither.
was terrible and
Yeah.
like I don't even know like where to even begin on that. But I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not bad editing. That's just you being
Yeah.
awful. So that's
Yeah.
where I'm like, I don't
I
know
feel
how
like
my
she's still like that, isn't she? Still, I find her still so annoying and not funny. Sorry.
I
Now I'm
you
getting
know
blocked by Hannah.
I love their podcast and I think they're funny, but I think like I find Paige to be funnier
Yeah.
than where I sometimes I feel like Hannah can like try a little bit too hard and like
Yeah.
I like their podcast. It's like my escapism from anything else political that I listen to because it's truly apolitical. They don't talk about that at
Yeah.
all. In people have their own opinions on that of whether they should be talking about it or not. But it's the
Yeah.
one thing that I will say I actually kind of enjoy because I truly just get to like disconnect and like laugh and giggle because it feels like I'm just like at a girls' dinner with my friends. But like
Yeah.
sometimes I do think that Hannah tries way too hard and like I did watch her special and I didn't think it was funny. Like I really didn't like I
Mm,
tried like everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, haha, like laugh so hard." Like I didn't laugh really
no.
at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you
Yeah. I
watched
don't.
like I
Yeah.
didn't think it was funny.
No, I don't. I don't think she's ever funny. I do. I definitely think Paige has the quick one-liners. She's
Mhm.
witty. She's got a
Yeah,
good sense of timing. She knows where to throw the joke in.
well together. So like I
Yeah.
feel like like build off of each other. But like, I think Hannah standalone kind of on herself, I don't think she's like really that
No.
funny. And I think I also listened to her and Dez's podcast, her husband, and they rip really well together too. But it's like, I think, yeah, it's just kind of on her own. I don't really think she's that funny. So,
Oh my God, another block coming up for
yeah.
sure. Now, we have been chatting for an hour. I feel like we could talk for hours and hours
No,
more.
I would love to just like keep chatting because
I
we could just
know.
we're just having a blast over here.
I know. Well, you'll have to come back on. I think let's get you back on and let's keep going because these Bravo opinions I am living for. I think we're pretty aligned apart from maybe the Gina and Emily. But I think, there's a lot to unpack and I feel like there's way more to talk about with BravoCon too.
For sure. Yeah.
So will you come back?
Of course. I would love to. Yeah. No, this is a blast. This is an absolute blast. I could literally yap about Bravo and politics and, all of that stuff all day. So, and true crime too. Like I'm a pretty big true crime too.
Amazing.
Yeah, I feel like I don't have as much time where I just like sit and listen to podcasts. But if I'm on like a road trip or I'm like, have a 2.5, 3 hour stretch, I'm listening to true crime podcasts like just on repeat. I kind of love that stuff too. So.
I have to kind of veer away from it a little bit because I worked at the coroner's court for a long time and it was literally all crime and trauma and intense. So like I like a little, Netflix doc, but I'm when I'm listening to true crime, it sort of creeps me out a little bit and I feel like it's about to happen to me. So I have to like move away.
See, I feel like I use it as like research where I'm like, how do I keep myself from getting murdered? I'm storing this in the back.
Yes. Learn what not to do. Oh, well, Kat, thank you so much for your time today. Let everybody know where they can find you, how they can connect with you.
Yeah. So my niche is like Bravo in politics, liberal politics. So if that's not your thing, I'm probably not your girl. But yeah, so I'm Worm with a Mustache, Worm _with_ a mustache on Instagram, TikTok. Where else am I? Threads. Yeah. So that's where you can find me. Feel free to shoot me a follow if I love to kind of combine the, the fresh hells or what I view to be the fresh hells of the United States, kind of intertwine that with Bravo and all of that. So it's fun. It's kind of like, it's how I, keep it light when I feel like we're living in a very bad place.
Yeah. And I think that's what Bravo is for so many of us is an escape from our realities into a completely unreal universe. It is not reality, and that's what we love about it.
Yes. So I know this is kind of like another story and I know we have to wrap, but people are always like, how do you just like watch that trash on TV? I'm like, it's actually not. It's like it's our escape, and I have like a very personal connection to Bravo because my mom and we started watching it together like when I was like 7, 8 years old, and we started with like Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, and it was kind of like my first like introduction into the queer community. And like I kind of asked my mom, I was like, what does it mean to be gay? She's like, it just means we're either 2 men or 2 women love each other. And I was like, okay, simple as that. I was like, makes a lot of sense to me. And then my mom actually got sick when I was in middle school and passed away when I was 13. But like we literally used to watch Real Housewives of New Jersey on an iPad or an iPod video in her hospital. Like how like so it's just it's so personal, and it's like it can be so much deeper than just like watching middle-aged women like yell at each other on TV. And people I've like made kind of posts about that, and there's so many other people who are like, yeah, I used to watch it with my mom, she's no longer here, I wish more than anything I could talk to her about it. So it really can be like an escape or a form of therapy for people that are going through like difficult times, because it is our escape. And we
100%. I could not agree more. I think it's, as a therapist myself, it is absolutely my therapy, and I could not live without it.
The burden of so many people. So just to get to watch other people like, deal with their own probably really nice to just
Yeah. So
veg and
nice.
watch that. Yeah, and not
Yeah.
think of other people in your life.
Yeah. And I think, and I've talked about this before, but I feel like it is such a beautiful way of learning about relationships
Mhm.
and the way that we relate to
We're
other
all like
people.
anthropologists, basically.
Yeah, exactly. We've got a PhD in anthropology and
Exactly.
sociology
Yes.
from having watched these
We need
shows
like
from inception.
honorable like doctorates from Harvard,
Yes.
from Bravo.
I have got a friend that always tells me I have a PhD in reality TV, and I think she's right.
Here we go. Bravo should have like a stand at BravoCon where it's like I have a PhD
Yes,
in reality TV or something.
totally. I will take any test,
Yeah.
and I'm sure we would ace them all, and we can come out with our honorary
Degree.
certificate. That is
Yeah.
actually a genius idea. They need to do something like that next year,
Hmm.
next 2027.
I know I
Yeah,
keep saying next year and I'm like, oh, we
I
have to wait
know.
2 years. But
I
like it came
know.
up so fast. I kept saying like last year and I didn't even realize that the last BravoCon was in 2023. So like
Yeah.
time just literally flies.
Yeah, totally. And I actually can feel energetically why they need 2 years to, you
Mm-hmm.
know, be ready for the next one.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. I can't even imagine the logistics of planning that. It's not
seriously.
so much, but
Yeah. I would
yeah.
have a few pointers for them for next time, however.
So,
I
okay,
think,
here's my one pointer. So, if we can get someone like Ryan Bailey, who kind of has a direct line of communication to those
yeah,
people or anyone else. So, I know a ton of creators were invited, and that's not what I'm asking for. I'm not asking for a sponsorship or to pay my way. What I'm asking for is a pre order for creators where they set 250, 300 tickets aside. You can upload your platform links to kind of prove that you can get
yes,
a like pre-order, pre-sale link because I just want to be able to get in there stress free, pick the tickets that I want to buy.
yes,
I will purchase them. I'm not asking for a discount code, nothing. I just don't want to fight against the masses because
yes,
I just want to be able to put in a promo code, log in, or like a link
yep,
code, a pre-order code, get in. So I'm not fighting for my life like I'm going to the Eras tour or something.
totally,
Like just let
totally.
me get in line ahead of the rest of the queue. That's all
Yep,
I'm asking.
yep,
And I'll make sure, like, give me a time that I need to be ready. Like, if I miss that time, then I'll fight with the masses. But give
yep.
me a time that I need to be online and I can check out
Yep.
stress free. That is all
I
I'm
love
asking.
that. I love that. That is a
Yeah.
genius idea. I
Yeah.
love
And if
that.
I need to fill out a form where you can like look at my platform, see if
Yep.
I'm actually kind of like considered a creator. So I'm not just trying to like
Yep.
scam you. Totally fine. I'm happy to
Yep.
do that.
Yep. I think that's a brilliant idea. We'll talk to Ryan about that one.
Yeah.
But I also think other things like they had photo ops
Mhm.
where they had everyone lined up at the different stages. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
Mhm.
stages. And everyone
Yep.
was lined up in a giant snake, standing for an hour. And then people would be like, "Who? Anyone for stage 4? Stage 4, come forward." And people wouldn't hear it, or who
Mhm.
can? Like, how simple would it be? As you're walking in the door, what stage are you? 1, line up in stage 1. You're number
That
2,
helps a
line up
lot.
in stage 2.
Like you should be in line with where you need to go, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Because there were so many people, like the
Do
two
you know if
boys
there's
from,
like a feedback like link that they send out after the
I don't know. I haven't seen one. Oh, did I get a survey? I'm not sure. I'll have to check my
probably
email.
a podcast or something? I feel like I maybe got something that I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
actually submit my like creator pre-sale.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. But
Yeah.
there were some Bravo Lebs that were standing there with no one in their queue, and it was embarrassing for them. And they
Mhm.
could have, like, if you can see that stage 1 and 2 are completely full, and you can see that their
Um,
next gen people have got no one, or Reza's weirdly standing there with no one. People could
mhm.
have chosen to, like, look, I could take my chances here, or I can go and line up over there, and everything would have been so much smoother. Oh, yeah. Little
No.
things like that were really annoying.
Mhm. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
imagine. Yeah, I didn't get any photo ops when like they sent out that like sign up link or whatever. I like
Yeah.
completely opportunity, which another thing is like I feel like you're fighting for your life for these
Yes.
like, sign ups. It's like it has
Exactly.
to be like we have to find a way to improve that a little
Yeah.
bit. I'm like I
I
can't have 3 laptops open trying to get 2 VIP tickets. Like that's
no.
crazy.
Yeah. And you know what? I joined the BravoCon Facebook group,
Mm,
and that was really good because I only decided quite late, like maybe in August, September, that I could actually go and leave
mm.
the family and, make the trip. And I was able to, she matches people up who are looking for tickets. And so I
Oh,
safely
okay.
was able to get my pass from somebody that you kind of vetted, and it feels a little bit more
Legit.
legit.
Yeah.
And they were selling other things like VIP tickets and Bravo Paloozas and photo op things,
Mhm.
but because of that, I was encouraged to try all of those things. So I was setting my alarm at 3 o'clock in the morning to try and get onto the photo ops,
Mm.
and the whole thing was a total mess. And
Mhm.
I got some photo ops, but had not, like, just got a random email saying congratulations, you're going on Friday. Didn't have a time, didn't know the people. And then when I turned up on the Friday, they told me, oh yeah, you have Kyle Richards and Erica Jane. And I was like, what? And
Oh
I
my
couldn't believe it. So I stood in a line for 20 minutes just to find that out. Then I
God.
stood in a line for 2 hours all up. So I was an hour, at least an hour inside the photo op tent with my
Oh,
amazing new friend Lindsay. I had an extra, so she came and joined me.
wow.
And we got there and we're waiting and waiting and waiting. There were two or three people in front of us. We were right at the front and they closed it.
No.
And I was like, are you kidding me? There were like 5 people left behind us. And they're like, no, we've got to
Wait
get them.
for 5 more minutes?
I
No,
know, it was
so
insane.
that's
Like,
a good sign.
why were we waiting for 2 hours total for that? So after that, I was like, I'm never doing a photo op again. But then I
Yeah.
got one on the Sunday and I was like, I'll just check the line. And I actually had Denise Richards
Hmm.
and who was it? Oh my God, that's terrible. I've gone completely blank. Oh my God, I'll have to check my phone. Who was it? It was somebody really huge. Oh my God, I've got to look. I've got to look. Hold on. Hold on, everybody. It was Denise and um where was it? Oh my God. Okay. I'm get just scrolling. Who was it? Oh no, have I not got it here? Oh, Caroline Stanbury.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
I
so that line was really
it's
short.
very thin too in person.
Another toothpick. I mean,
Yeah. It's like
truly, it was an Ozempic
Ozempic is yes,
convention. Yeah.
Ozempic is Ozempicing.
Yeah. I mean, people that shouldn't, I'm all for it. I think, if you need it, take it, no problem. It's a great thing. But these women don't need it.
Mm-mm.
There were a
Mm.
lot of alarmingly thin people
Yeah. It was just
on
like
the
I feel like we're
ground.
back in like the whole like eating disorder stage of like
Yeah,
body image. Like, it's like everything
totally.
from the 90s is coming back.
Yeah. Yeah,
Style,
totally.
features.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, Kat.
This went on another tangent for
I
another
know,
like
sorry. Okay, so we really have to get you back on. Let's do like a BravoCon part 2. Let's try and get together, like if we can in the next week or so, and like
I would love it. Yeah.
keep
No,
going.
I feel like I'm like chatting with my best friend.
I know, me too. It's been so good. I'm so glad we met this time last week and can't wait to keep collaborating with you and seeing
Okay.
all of your amazing content and everything that you're doing. So, guys, go and follow Worm with a Mustache. She's clever, she's funny, she loves all the things that we do. And, these are the kind of creators we need to get behind. So,
Thank you.
Kat, thank you so much for your
This has been
time.
lovely. This has been lovely. I'm so happy we did this.
Me
I'm glad
too.
we had this last minute opening or
Oh,
whatever
so good.
happened.
I've been in recovery. I'm like, oh my God, I've really got to do a podcast. It's been a week now. I got home just a couple of days ago and I've just been like, jet lag and upside down and kids. And I was like, oh my
Oh,
God, okay, I need to do a podcast.
imagine being jet lagged the way you are and then having 3 kids. That's just
Oh,
crazy.
I'm very lucky. My partner is, honestly, he's a unicorn and I should be way more grateful than I am. He is incredible.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay.
All
Yeah,
right, Kat.
we'll schedule another time to chat again.
Amazing.
We can just do this
Can't
all
wait.
night.
All right.
Bye.